Hey collectors, Anthony from HNE here, and today we are going to check out Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Cosmos. A popular theory is that Cosmos is the basis for humanity's belief in extraterrestrials prior to the Cybertronians awakening on Earth in 1984. While searching for the ark, Cosmos on many occasions throughout human history was spotted and became part of the lore. When we get back, we will compare Cosmos to himself. Okay, so in front of us, we have the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 collection Cosmos. He's on your right. To the left is the Prime Wars Core / Legend class version. But before we get into these guys here and comparing them, let's just take a quick look at the box here. And I kind of like the way they go back to the classic figure packaging. That's just the way it was when I was little. Everybody was in the car forms. But now it's more about, hey, what the fancy robot look like? So that's why most of the figures are now in robot form. But this saves so much more. Look at how small this package is. When I got this in the mail, and I knew they were going to be in vehicle form, I'm like, man, these have to be too small to fit two figures. But hey, two figures within the box. But the online does not give you a sense of scale, but these are small boxes. Anyway, on the inside, we have this piece of cardboard that kind of has a stand on it because, you know, it has to display it in there. Attached underneath was a piece of tissue paper which had the flag weapon in it. Of course, you get the instructions and the don't hurt yourself paper. Now, because the figures did come in vehicle form, that is why they are in vehicle form. Typically, I would be in whatever form they came in box. And this is the way we're going. I should mention that there is no plastic paneling on the box, and everything was paper tied. So, eco-friendly, yay. But I would be worried if I picked this up in store. Chances are I find empty boxes. So, just to get a general look at them, definitely different takes. My understanding is this one is the IDW version. This one, of course, is the classic animation version. And anybody who's watched the videos from Hasbro Pulse realized that this originally was going to be just a redo or a remold or a recolor of the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Origins Bumblebee, and they decided, you know what, we can do better, and they did. They did much better. So that is the general comparison in these two. I mean, there is just different scale and just accuracy for one thing versus the other, and we're going to put him aside, and he is spectacular. I have a couple of gripes, though, mainly having to do with the way certain pieces clip in. But here is his gun and flag. They do detach, so you don't have to use the flag if you don't want to. Although you can see it's a clear piece of plastic, I think, because it's starting to wear off already from detaching it twice from this weapon. So I'm just going to keep it here. And we'll put it aside. Transformation isn't too difficult, but it's kind of clever the way they did a couple of things. But in doing those couple of things, they've also created points for wear. And that is a little disappointing. But to get this result, maybe it's worth it. Depends on what you're doing with this. I display vehicles or Transformers particularly in their vehicle modes. So, you know, your opinion may vary. But first thing first, arms just really come out real easy. They just peg in here. And it's going to be weird to do this backwards because I'm so used to doing it the other way. But I'll try to show you where the connection points are so you can reverse this later. After that, you can separate the legs, which right here, you want to put up these panels before you get too far, just to get them out of the way. The legs fold out. Now, keeping the legs do peg in here. They fold out here, and you can straighten them up and pull this forward. And what you're going to do is this bit here is going to connect in here into this front piece. And I know it's a horrible view, but if you've played with the Waspinator from the Kingdom line, it's the same concept, and it snaps in nicely into this pelvic piece here. And you basically already see what it's coming up with. Now, here's the thing. So I transform these things without instructions at first, just to make sure I can understand it inherently. Because Transformers for me are kind of a puzzle. So if they can be solved without instructions, then I feel like I've accomplished something. So you got to pull back on this piece here. And what you're doing is, one, unlocking the head so you can flip it up. But two, you need to rotate this piece. And it rotates like this. You fold in the back piece here. And then, this is one of the pieces where I mentioned It kind of is like you kind of have to kind of scrape it by. It reminds me of the legs on like Rhinox on the Kingdom line, and you got to tab it in here, and it just rubs together. And over time, I feel like there's going to be a scratch or something here. Now, it doesn't look like there's one now, but at some point there is going to be through repeated use. But once you get that done, he's in there, and the next step is to rotate his arms out, and the arms clip onto this piece here. Nice satisfying click. But again, another one of those pieces are going to rub over time. If you get it right, there we go. This one was a lot tougher. I sometimes wonder if maybe this is off balance in the back. Looks fine. Okay, so you got the arms done. Separate them so they fold here, and then the hands pull out like this. And let's see if I can get the... There we go. So we'll just keep them up for right now. They're in the way. So we get down here. Now, if you're familiar with the Bumblebee from Origins, or the actual any Clifton Bumblebee mold in general from these last couple of lines, it's the same foot fold thing. You just kind of move the piece forward. Now there is no tire, of course. You don't have to fold the tire in, but you've got to do... And here's the other one I have friction complaint with. You've got to fold this piece back here, and you've got to kind of lift it up and then get it over here. I've already like seen a little bit of wear on this contact point because you can see there's a little lip here, but I've already worn it from the two previous times I've transformed it. And obviously it'll become easier to transform over time, but I worry about the wear because so far no whitening, but it's a real concern. So you can put down the skirts. You can put down the arms. So how do I explain the arms? Arm is loose. Arm is tight. It's weird. It's just the way it is, I guess. I'll throw a gun on here. I'll put it in his left hand. There we go. And there he is. And he looks pretty good. The backpack is understandable. Waffling, I mean, I feel like this could have been filled in, and probably somebody will fill up gap fillers for this. But otherwise, he is spectacular for a Cosmos. So let me transform the other guy, and we'll compare those. So here is Cosmos in his current and most recent form. And clearly height differences because, you know, core class, legend class, whatever, deluxe class. I personally prefer the G1 accurate one over the IDW version. But for what you had possible at the time and what Hasbro was doing with their partners, you kind of understand where he came from. And we're going just... There's not anything common about them. There's liberties taken. There's design choices made. It is... I mean, this guy was acceptable when it was his only choice. But now that he is no longer the only one, clearly this guy is the choice. And other than my little piece-rubbing gripes... This is a phenomenal figure. Compared to the previous incarnation of Cosmos, this deluxe version is easily an improvement. Not only does he look animation accurate, but he scales nicely with other existing figures in the line. With both Cosmos and Clampdown being in such high demand and in limited quantities, I would not be surprised if we will eventually see both of them being sold for high prices on secondary marketplaces. With that said, tell me in the comments your thoughts on this action figure. Did you get it, and how was your experience with it? Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe.